first thing I'm going to show you, they're actually looking at this reference. It's just very, very easy to find the proportion. Can you see that? On the top of, at the top, this is the hairline. Can you see the hairline? And you see the eyebrows? Do you see the bottom of the nose? And do you see the chin? Right. So for easier, and I'm going to, so actually in this, there are 3 areas, and the chin have a little bit longer. This is him. He has a little bit longer chin. So you can see a little bit special features for different person. Now you look at yourself, you can compare with the hairline, the eyebrows, the nose, and the chin. Okay, the first thing you need to do, I'm gonna come to use my own brush, and a little bit soft when you're holding a charcoal or a graphite pencil. So the first thing you're gonna draw, and you use a little bit warmer color. Here you go, like that. Here we go. Now you're gonna draw, say, I'm gonna put the top of his head over here. So you need to decide on how you're going to use the paper, right? So like this. So okay, so I'm going to draw him here. So draw really roughly and something like that. Just look at, don't worry about the proportion, the technical side of this. So now I'm going to decide on where I'm going to draw the whole face. Right? It's important. So you need to know that you need to control your page. Yeah, you need to control how big you want to draw. This is compositions. We talk about compositions through this semester. So if you are not doing well with doing the layout of the drawing, and you may not really get the point of for that portion of the learning. Okay, so it's very important to spend step by step, one step at a time. So this is going to be the face, and I also want to draw a little bit about, oh, okay, the shoulder probably over here. I don't really see much about from the reference about the clothing. It's not much. It just put something over here. So no worry about it. Just put something over there. This is fine. Okay. You don't have to draw down over here unless you have enough reference. So this is the first step we call composition. It's not about how to make it accurate. Okay. Are you guys with me, right? It's not about accuracy. It's about just roughly where you put it. Okay. If you want, you can draw with me. Yeah, just grab a paper, a charcoal, or pencil, looking at the screen. Okay, any questions from this? And I'm going to use a stick. I'm going to measure from the screen. Okay, you just have to trust that I'm actually doing that measurement. Okay. So there's some background over there, so I'm going to okay. I'm going to mute all. So, but if you need to speak, make sure there's no background noise over there, especially the news or the bad news or private conversation with the family. Okay, making sure there's no sharing with those things. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to mark it, like I say, where's the hairline? Okay. Well, you can mark it lower, mark it higher, doesn't really matter, right? So you're going to mark it over here. Sometimes some people have a little bit more hair, like, ooh, this long. So that will be different. But however, the hairline won't change. The hairline won't change because of your hair longer, right? That is very important. So now I'm going to put that over here. That's the first mark. And then now we already know, I'm going to double check whether or not it's true, okay? I'm going to take a look at the hairline to the eyebrows. I'm going to mark that, the top of the hairline, the eyebrows. Now, from the top coming down over here. Ooh, this is pretty good, to the nostril. And from the nostril. Oh, okay. And that's right. From our first rough observation, his chin a little bit longer. Okay, all right. In that case, I'm going to use the eraser. The eraser a little bit over here. I'm going to making sure the chin over here, something. We're going to come back step by step to define it. Don't worry about that. Oh, the chin is not the same shape. It's okay. One step at a time. Okay, now I'm going to get this. And I'm going to get back the same pencil. And okay, now we're going to divide into 3, right? 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure they are exactly the same, even though my eyes are usually very good. I'm going to use my finger to measure. You see that 1? And that is a little bit confusing. So I'm going to make sure that it's a little bit more clear and clean. Okay, like that. Okay, here we go. 1, look at my fingernail. Okay, 1 and 2. Wow, that's pretty good so far. 3. Wow, perfect. Now I don't want it to be perfect. And actually, his chin is a little bit longer. It's coming down to here. Okay. Now I'm going to break a little bit. Like a 1, 2, and the chin, probably not that long. It's about here. So his chin need to extend it over here a little bit, like that. Okay. All right. Are you with me so far? If you do one thing at a time, there's no biggie, no problem. Now, from the measuring, how you're going to measure it, it's just like what I do. Look at the same under the reference. Okay, coming from the hairline to the top of the eyebrows, and the top of the eyebrows to the nostril, and the nostril to the chin. And find out whether or not they're exactly the same or what is longer. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little mark over here. So this is called the top of the eyebrows. So his eyebrows about here. You get that? And here is the nostril. That means the nostril. And the middle of the nose is still coming down a little bit, like that. So this is only the nostril space, like this. And his eye, where is his eye? I think the bottom, his eye is about standing over here, like about here. Just put it down, and then you're going to see whether or not it's correct. His eye a little bit higher, and usually the normal people, the eye a little bit lower, about 1/3, and that 1/3. Now his eye is almost like a quarter. You see that? Almost like a quarter on top. And so you need to use a stick to measure it on the reference. So now, but we don't know exactly where exactly the eye is going to be. We just throw something over there. But don't worry about it. It's going to be good or bad or normal. Because right now, we need to know that vertically, where are the eye line would be here. Right? The eye line would be here. So the nose right here. Okay, we don't know how wide that would be. And also we can draw a little line called center line, right? We talk about that when we draw a bottle or something. We always can put a little center line. So help us to compare and look at where is the center. So when they have the center line over here, the nose, both sides of the nose would be the same space from the center line, right? And the mouth. Now we're going to take a look at what's the middle point of the mouth. From the nostril to the chin. Let's say from the tip of the nose, I think the middle point is right below the mouth. See that? So that from here to the tip of the nose, and the middle, that over here, that is the top line of the mouth, like right here. His upper lip is very, very small, very thin, like that. Can you see that? It's almost look like him. And this is his mouth. So you don't have to make it really, really clear, because the color on the on the lower lip is not really that difference from the skin tone of the of the face. Now it's almost there. Now we have the vertical line. Now already find out, and say the top over here, the hairline. So the hairline is a little bit tilted this side, like this. All right. Now, do you know what the next thing you're gonna find? You're gonna find out exactly how wide is the face. We haven't checked the width of the face. How can you find it? Well, this is easy. I'm also going to use my stick to coming over here. When I'm going to check. I'm going to check the width of the face compared to the height of the face. What's the width of the face? I'm going to check with, say, if you see that the ear over here and the ear on this side, right? I'm going to check inside over here, inside, so the sideburn over here, like that. I'm going to check inside. Okay, that's just the width. The widest spot is usually right here. I'm going to find out how wide is this compared to the face height. Okay, I'm going to take a look at it on my monitor. So I'm going to take it, the width. Okay, this is the width of the left side and the right side and the reference. Now I'm going to, from the chin coming up. Oh, do you know what? Oh my God. I'm going to do it one more time, making sure it's correct. Okay. Oh my God. From the eyebrows to the chin, it goes from here to here. Can you check on that? If you can do it on the... So we already know where's the eyebrows, where's the chin, right? From the previous step, we already find it. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take this, right? From this to the bottom of the chin. I'm going to rotate it. Now I'm going to take a look. Okay, it's a little bit narrow. It needs to be widened a little bit. Okay, that's good. Now, since we already have the center line, so I'm going to say the left side, the right side, because in this photo reference, it's very much like just center. So the left side will be here, right? I got it. And the right side would be here. Okay, from what I see. Okay, so the left side, the right side would be like this. So what that really mean, and the sideburn. Now you find the width. I know it's lots of steps, but it's just not hard. It's just you need to follow the process. Okay, now the face is over here, the left side of the face. And the right side of the face, okay, like that. And the sideburn over here. But it starts from here coming down. Like that. Here we go. Now coming a little bit, coming toward the chin, like that. Okay, coming down over here. Okay, here you go. Gradually coming close to the chin. His chin is not really that narrow. Okay, so I'm going to open that chin a little bit, like this. Here you go. Chin like here. Okay, that's good. So far, so good. Now we got a very good representations. And then open up a little bit. And since we already know the hairline up over there, so now we can connect all those things. And this is the hair. Okay, this is the hair from the hairline. Okay, here we go. Now I can expand a little bit, make the hair a little bit more, and I'm sure at the top over here, not including in the photograph, it will be the hair. Maybe he usually have put a bit long hair on the top over here, like that. And you can have some hair coming like this if you want. You can make it fancy, okay? Now, the wrap proportion is almost done, right? You already have that. Now, the placement is already there. Now we're gonna find out where's the ear. At the top of the ear, it's almost just right below the eyebrows. Can you see that? Right below the eyebrows. Now coming outside over here. And where's the bottom? The bottom is right next to the nostril. The nostril over here and next to it. Here we go. Like that. And on this side, and right about the nostril. Okay, right here. And where's the top? Right below the eyebrows. Right over there. Below that. A little bit below. Okay. That's going to be fun. Okay. Even though you're not drawing him, you're going to draw yourself or draw your family members, but the process, it is exactly the same. Okay, now I'm going to use the eraser. I'm going to expand that a little bit. I think they're coming in a little bit too much. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to take a look at, I think this opened up a little bit. So I'm going to use my blender. And I'm going to push this out a little bit. Okay, that's good. And we'll push that outside a little bit more. Okay, this side is okay. And a little bit coming outside a little bit. I'm going to soften the line. Okay, that's good. Right, so far so good. And now I already have the proportion. So this is very important. This step is finding the proportion. If your proportion is not there, it's difficult to make someone look like they're someone. Okay, is that important? Now, I'm going to look at divide the vertical space because the next step. Okay, but first, before you go to the next step, make sure you get finished this step, the proportion, very important. We don't know how wide the mouth is supposed to be. We don't know how wide the nose would be. It's all going to start from the eye. Okay, we're going to see that, I think, from the inside of the eye and roughly both sides, and we can divide into 5. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the outside has a little bit less than 1. Okay. So inside over here is about 3. But you can look at yours. Your reference may be different. But everybody is different. Okay. But maybe between two brothers can be different too. The eyes is someone's eye is a little bit bigger, someone's eye a little bit smaller, right? So you can see that in between the two eyes is about 1 eye space, and this is about 1 eye. And you can now I'm going to draw a little bit detail. Now I know exactly what the eye is, and over here the same thing over here. I can see a little bit fold coming in here. Now here you go. Now there's the eye over here. And look like a triangle, right? Just a little big fold over here, like that. Okay, now there's the eye, and there's the eye sitting over here. Okay, that's good, right? All right, now we're not drawing the shadow yet. You just draw the shape. And after you're doing this, and you can see there's just a little bit shape over here for the shadow. Okay, we take care of that a little bit later when we come back. But we're going to continue working on the small proportion. Now, after you know the eye, now you see the nose coming down like this on both sides. Have a little bit shade. Okay, now you see how wide that the middle area would be. Now coming over here to become the nose. Now it's very easy. Now from here, now you're going to compare the nose with the eye. I think it's just about from this corner to this corner, inside over here, straight down, that is the side of the nose. It's right straight down, right straight down. It's the same width, like that. Now you're going to take a look at the mouth, the corner of the mouth. I'm going to use a stick over here, push that up, the corner of the mouth, right in the middle of the iris, right there. So I'm going to put that right here. So that means his corner of the mouth open up a little bit, and then they have a little bit shape like this. Now, here you go. We got this. Just step by step, one step at a time. And on this side, also coming down over here, like that. Have a little bit like a smile or smirk. Okay, like this. Now we have the corner of the mouth. Right. I'm going to take a look over here. I'm going to double check the shape of the face coming over here. Now it's almost like look like him, isn't it? Now what I'm going to do, this is the step. You have to follow this step by step. This is showing that you're comparing after you divide the shape, the space of the eye area, right? Some people like me probably have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and all equal. But for him is the both sides a little bit smaller. But the center, the two eyes and the space between the two eyes and taking in like a one whole eye. Okay. Now after you have this done, the next thing you're going to do is draw the shadow. And then the shadow is easy. Just treat it like a tomato or banana. Just see what's darker, what's lighter. It's a very simple thing. So now I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, but a little bit softer. Now I'm going to see the whole side over here. I have some shadow. So just looking for where's the darker. Here, a little bit darker. Here you go. A little bit darker over there. A little bit darker shadow over here. The whole face over here on this side is darker. And a little bit darker on this side. You see that? It's pretty cute and easy. And coming over here, a little shadow. And on this side, also a little big shadow, like that. You're going to draw on iPad the same way that you're going to draw it like on a piece of paper. I'm going to make the neck a little bit darker, right? And here you go. Now also going to make this is a little bit, catch the shadow, just use the charcoal, like that. Okay, here we go. And have this. I'm going to have a little big suggestions for the side over here. So here you go. And this I also have shadow. Okay. Now I'm going to take a look over here. Have a little big shadow on the side of the nose. And over here, and I'm going to come in here to, it looks like a little bit, sorry about that. A little bit too dark. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, all right. I want to try to make it a little bit lighter for you. So under the nose has some catch the shadow too, and some mustache. Okay, here we go, and put a little bit like that. And those will become very simple. I'm going to make that a little bit darker. Just look for where it's darker. Okay, and like that, and then a little bit over here, a little bit darker, and here you go. You can use the blender to blend the color a little bit. Okay, just little by little, and you're going to get to all the space. I'm going to push that a little bit outer, push that out a little bit, okay, like that. And now I'm going to get into the eye. Okay, all right, now I'm going to draw the eye. Okay, now take a look. I'm going to make the brush a little bit smaller. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to take a look on this side. It has actually a little bit shadow, a little bit shading. I'm going to draw a little line over here. This is the eyebrow. Okay, like this. I'm going to make this a little bit lighter. And here you go. You can use the finger to blend it, or use the paper to blend it. Make it a little bit lighter, like that. Okay, that's good. Right? That's pretty easy to fix it. Okay, over here, need to come down a little bit. There you go, like that. That's just a little bit wider, the eyebrows. Now I'm gonna come in here to take a look at inside the eye. Now you're going to spend the time working into the details, but not before you have all those things done, okay? Okay, like that. And looking into inside the eye over here. And inside the eye over here, that a little bit darker. Right inside this is a pupil. Okay, here you go, like that. And then you can also use the eraser to light up some area. Like inside the eye, it has a little bit lighter. Now you can use a little bit eraser and smaller. And here you go. Now I'm going to use, okay, light up that a little bit more. Okay, a little bit too small. I can light it up by using the eraser. Light up a little bit over here because the color of his iris is pretty light, like that. And then I'm gonna fine tune this. I'm gonna erase that a little bit over here, make it a little bit lighter, and erase that a little bit. So don't worry about the mistake, okay? And because you have to do what you need to do in each step. When you get down to this step, now you can come back to fine tune it and see that this is a little bit darker, like this. Now after you have a little bit darker, a little bit lighter, and make the corrections, and it will look like that person. And you remember, you have a whole week to finish a project, and you can actually have more than a week. If you want, you can give it 10 days, okay? If you really having struggle, okay, after you try, you can let me know, and we can come together on Zoom, and I can tell you what is wrong over there, what you miss, right? And I'm gonna have a little bit lighter. I'm gonna have eraser to make that the little highlight even stronger. So I'm gonna come back over here to have the pupil a little bit darker. I can also shrink the highlight a little bit, like that. And then when you take a look at here, down over here, you can use, and actually use the blender, okay? Blending the color down a little bit over here, down a little bit coming on this side. You can see that the lower eyelid, and coming like that. I'm going to zoom out. You can see that. You say, oh, you can see that. Look at that eye. It's looking very finished. So that eye is down, right? You're gonna have another one, and I'm gonna move the shape outside a little bit, clear that out a little bit, open that up a little bit, and now you're gonna work on this one. And then you're coming down to the nose, and coming down to the mouth, and coming down to the chin, and then going to the ear, right? Like the ears are simple. It's just draw a little bit shape. Okay, this is the shape. This is a little shape over here. That is a little bit darker shape. Yes, if you see the darker lighter shape, and you can very easy to just finish that very quickly. Okay, but if you don't see the shape, which is a very important part of what we're learning this semester, now you're going to be in a little struggle. if you don't see that, right? I'm going to move that light shape a little bit over here. I'm going to move that light shape up a little bit here. Use the blender, or you use the eraser, right? Like this. Okay, now give me some questions. And any questions? Now, and you can see the step by step. If you try to do all the things in a couple steps, and that will be impossible. And you got to do it one step at a time, one layer at a time. Okay, over here, I'm going to draw that little line over here, just one step at a time. Okay, it's important to know what you are doing in each step. So you don't want to overload yourself and say, I have to do all of this in one step. Okay, I'm going to beat the professor. Okay, that's not the right way to think and do.